April 2022. 2 years ago. That's how long I've had these babies right here. Now, many of you people may be familiar with this. It has been out quite a while. That's right, the Beats Fit Pros. No longer by Dr. Dre, but by Apple. Now being what? August, September 2024, it has been clear over 2 years of taking a beating, constant beating. And as you guys can see, this thing is in the gray and mint green color. They have a variety of colors. They have black and red, pink, brown, white, anything to suit your style more or less. And this thing has really and truly gone through everything and everywhere with me. As you can probably see from right off the bat, these chips here when it fell from it onto the asphalt. Now this was a drop from pocket height right onto the raw asphalt. And yeah, took it like a champ. I mean, of course it shell out and these things fell all over the place and, you know, almost got run over by a car or whatever. But this was the only collateral damage right there. And this thing has held up pretty well. Being in my pocket with keys, coins, you name it, pens, whatever. It hasn't gotten much else of any form of cosmetic damage, as you can see right here. Right off the bat, do I regret getting these? No. Was it worth it? Yes. Are they expensive? Also yes. Are they still expensive? Yes. They go on sale every now and then, fairly frequently, but they still more or less hold that $200 mark right there. And with the AirPods Pros 2 being out now, pretty much at the same price, these can be a hard sell. So right off the bat, before I go any further, get these if you need them. They are inferior to the AirPods Pros 2 in terms of sound quality, of course, and features, because the active noise cancelling is more superior on the AirPods Pros 2, and there are other things like, you know, those new fancy features with Siri where you can not answer the phone and all those kind of things. This does not have that. But where this makes up is in practicality and versatility. Going to the gym, more than likely going to want these, thanks to these patented, I'm assuming they're patented, I just want to sound fancy, wingtips here on the earbuds. Now these things are not so pretty anymore. I don't know what the hell this is, if this is sweat or some form of gunk. I don't know. These are my daily drivers and the paint is starting to strip, so you know I'm not lying here guys. This is my daily driver, 2+ years in, and I use this for everything. With it being part of the Apple ecosystem, of course, you flip them open, right off the bat, this comes up with any device more or less. This is the thing about getting these devices in the Apple ecosystem, they just work. You open them up straight out of the box. This is how you connect them. That's really and truly how it goes, right? You get a prompt to connect, you name them and do whatever. 2 buttons later, you're connected. You close the clamshell up, it disconnects. When you're switching from device to device, it knows when you switch to your iPad or your MacBook or your Mac Studio or whatever other Apple device you have, your Apple TV or whatever, it connects seamlessly and instantly. This differs from other cheaper Bluetooth earbuds on the market because those, yes, you may have multi-point switching, but they're limited in terms of how many devices. Oftentimes are not, it's about 2 devices at once. Some may go up to 4 or something depending, but as long as it's from Apple, it will connect. So that's the benefit of these, one of the benefits that is. And going back to these wingtips here, what makes it better than the AirPods Pros 2, these things, no matter what you're doing, if you're walking, you're exercising, you're jamming out at work, you're jamming out in your car, which you should not be wearing earbuds while driving, people, be safe. They will not go anywhere. I'm not kidding, people. As you can see here with me shaking my head from side to side, these things are not coming out, like for real. Once they're in, they're in. However, after a while, you do feel the pain with these things. They tend to dig into your ears. I mean, really and truly, I rock them just like this, with, you know, the wingtips pretty much out of the way. I'm just rocking them right there. They give my ears a good seal anyway, and I have 0 issues with them falling out or whatever. However, if I'm sweating a lot or doing anything arduous, yes, they will, you know, lose their grip because of course only this will be holding it in at that point in time, and you know that you can't beat physics. They may slip out or get loose, and that may affect audio quality a bit. So if you're static in your office, just simply chilling, not doing a lot of movements, just don't bother with the ear tips, stick them in. Of course, find a correct fit with these. The standard medium that they came with right out of the box fit me perfectly, no issues. Getting to wear and tear, you guys already saw this, right? This is, it's not pretty, but who cares when it's in your ears? It's the same for this one. This one looks even worse, like looks borderline gross. But this one especially went through the gauntlet, right? One day I was simply just reaching for it and I pulled on this to take it out, the wingtip here, and it just ripped right off, as you can see from the crack right there. It was a sad day, and I mean, your boy is a genius. I simply grabbed some super glue and, you know, as accurately as possible and gingerly added some right there. It's back in place. It's not pretty, but you know, she fits just like new again, and she just keeps on chugging along. This thing has fallen from me many times, countless times, and no issues. Sounds just like day one, no issues. The battery life for these things are about 6 hours with active noise cancellation on, and an additional 18 or so hours with the case. Now, with it being so much as 6 hours, which is most, if not all of your work day, I mean, you won't exactly have them running constantly for 6 hours. I easily get more than a full day out of these things. I leave active noise cancellation on and it works wonderfully. It's like you enter into your own zone. I'm not even kidding with that. It's like you turn a switch on reality, you turn off reality, you turn off outside noise. It's that good. It doesn't get rid of everything. The AirPods Pro 2 does do a little better with the high-pitched, high-frequency sounds, but the low end definitely gets rid of that, like 95%. You won't really hear much of anything where that is concerned. It also charges monstrously fast. Like, if these run out of juice, if you forget to put them in the case overnight, or if you're somehow jamming out for the entire day without putting them back in the case, this thing will give you about an hour of playtime in about 5 minutes of charge. Still works like day one, right? She's not as pretty, but she works. Now, one of the benefits of this thing is that it's pretty much the first flagship headphone from Apple with USB-C. And one of the first devices they've actually pushed to USB-C from that dreaded Lightning port. Now, that speaks for itself. You no longer have to be carrying an extra cable around. This works with pretty much any USB-C charger, and surprise, surprise if you didn't already, because this has already been out for quite a while now. It also works just fine with Android phones. You won't get full functionality, of course, but it's definitely more functional than the AirPods with Android phones as well. So something to note. I mean, another thing as well, the sound quality sounds excellent, still sounds like how it did on day one. The bass is very crisp and punchy, like, and by crisp I mean it's not muddy. It's very fairly accurate bass. I mean, I'm not an audiophile, but as an average Joe, this thing sounds pretty stellar. Same as day one, I have no complaints. Any genre, whether it's hip hop, rock, R&B, dancehall if you're a Jamaican, it gets the bass when you need it. Clear mids, clear highs. I couldn't really ask for much more with these. The AirPods Pro 2 I hear sound better. Never tried them really for an extended period of time. This does a job, does it well, and does not miss a beat, literally. Now, one downfall with it though. These are the only functionalities that you have with this thing. All you have are just these. You see the battery life there for both the case and the earbuds themselves. You can control the transparency mode, noise cancellation on or off. You can name them. You can choose what each one of these side buttons do, because these are actual passive side buttons here. I shouldn't have pressed that, it may start playing something, but whatever. You can set the answer calls, mute or unmute calls, play, pause, summon Siri from the underworld, you know. ear detection, because it actually has sensors right here. They call them skin detection, but really and truly it just detects whether or not it is in your ear or not, to automatically play or pause your media, which is a nice touch as well. Nice modern touch. And of course, spatial audio. That has been a feature here, and it's also a feature, a staple feature on the AirPods Pros Generation 1 and 2, and the AirPods 3s as well. But as you guys can see, I leave it on. Once you turn it on or off, you hear a huge difference. This opens up the sound stage. I'm using some audiophile terms here. I really don't know how best to describe it. But yes, it feels, I don't know how to describe it, but it does enhance the music. That is for sure. Your microphone, your serial number, your name, or your device, and whatever. But really and truly, this is pretty much all you can adjust. This is all you can change. There's unfortunately no equalizer, which is a letdown. But really and truly, these things sound great. They're very balanced and very versatile for pretty much any genre of music. And that's the thing about these, that I will say, versatility is the name of the game here. Much more versatile, I would say, than the AirPods Pros 2. And that's why since the AirPods Pros 2 came out, I definitely did not feel the need to upgrade. Yes, it's a bigger case. Yes, the case is not as premium, and it even has this wobble, which this has been there since day one. Many of y'all may have seen the day one reviews, and they said this was one of those things. It affects the whole premium aesthetic that Apple devices are known for. But aside from that, it has lasted me over 2 years of fire, rain, all days, short days, throwing them across the room, gym days, outside, running days. Guys, this thing has been there with me through it all. Chill days. I can't go without them. As big as they are, if you ever see me on the streets, you see that bulge in my pocket. Not for you ladies, but for these. These things do go nowhere without me, and I go nowhere without them. They're always in my pocket, always in my bag, and I can't do without them. I highly recommend them. Yet again, for the cost, really and truly, it all depends on what you want. If you're someone who goes to the gym a lot, does a lot of outdoor activities, this is better. It will give you a more secure fit. I mean, I have worn the AirPods Pros, I've used them outside. Even the AirPods 3s, I borrowed wifey's AirPods 3s, and they don't really fall out of my ears in terms of doing active stuff with it. But if you're a very active person, you will be very secure with these. These will not fall out, and they will still pretty much give you the same level of audio quality. I'm not going to use the term premium for audio quality because audiophiles might come for me in the comments, but these things sound very good. I love them, and really and truly, I haven't really used any other earbuds that made me want to keep them. Funny enough though, now that I mentioned that, these here, right? Don't know how many of you people have seen me do a review on these, the Anker Soundcore VRP10s. These things are my gaming headphones, my gaming headsets, my go-tos in gaming right about now. Sound quality is top notch, especially when you get the equalizer right, and that's the benefit with this versus these. An equalizer. It also has multi-point connectivity and costs like literally a quarter the price of these. These go on sale for even $50 US a lot of the times, versus these, which are most times at $200 and go on sales $150 and sometimes below fairly often depending on the season. But as a budget option, these definitely give these a run for their money. In terms of sound quality, once you get the equalizer right out of the box, these destroy them bar none. Like, this is literally classic Apple set it and forget it. It will destroy these, and destroy them so bad it would definitely be worth spending the extra on these over these. But once you get the equalizer right, they sound more or less in the ballpark of these. Punchy bass, good mids, accurate highs, and my go-tos for gaming. I'm just mentioning them just to show a budget option. However, they don't have wingtips either, so yes, if you're an active person, these still would not be exactly highly recommended in that regard. But just to show you guys, a budget option, has multi-point connection, as I said, built-in microphone, and once you know what you're doing, or you check my video out, you can actually tune that equalizer to get it to sound pretty much 95% as good as these, right? And for pretty much any genre. Now, setting those aside, highly recommend these if you're an active person. You won't go wrong, you won't regret it, versus rolling the dice with the AirPods Pros 2 or the AirPods 3s, which, yes, you may get the sound quality, but if you're active and outside doing what you need to do, or in the gym doing whatever, they may fall out and that you'll be gambling with. But these are versatile, sound good, and from 2 years of use, very tough. I mean, even the case here, people, like, look at it. I've cleaned out all the wax and all that shit before the video, but you can see the wear and tear there. The paint is stripping and all that crap. But, you know, these inductive charging points never miss to this very day. They drop right in and they charge. You see that little blinking there showing that they connected and charging. And this thing is pretty sweet. If you're wondering what this button is, it's to reset them or force connect them if you're having connectivity issues, which very rarely happens, but they do. Nothing is perfect. They're very good, very solid pair of headphones. And if you're in the Apple ecosystem, or even if you have an iPhone as a primary or secondary phone and an Android phone as a primary or a second phone, these can work with either one just fine. Versatility is the name of the game here, people, and check them out for yourselves. Depending on where you live, try them out. You don't like them, send them back, but I'm almost sure you're going to keep them. So that's it, people. I'll leave a link to them in the description below, of course, for you to check them out if you want. And of course, thanks for tuning in. You don't know, I'll appreciate a like, subscribe, and of course hitting that little notification bell so you know when the next video is out. See you in the next one. Peace out and take care.